Welcome back, Advanced Out of Two Wildcats. If you would, pause again the video to double check that your table of contents is up to date. Okay, now that you've paused and updated your table of contents, let's look at today. Today we're looking at Monday, August 29th, sets of numbers and notation. And that's going to be in section 3. So if you would, you're going to turn to your journal in section 3 and you're going to get out a blank sheet of paper or notebook paper to record notes. Make sure there's a title, sets of numbers, and notation. So I've pre-written the information so that we can save time in the video and you can basically record as you're listening to me go over it. So a set is a collection or group. An element is an item in a set. A subset is a set within a set. An empty set is a null set without elements. A finite set is a limited number of elements. And an infinite set has an unlimited number of elements. So let me re-say that. Finite set has a limited number of elements, and an infinite set has an unlimited number of elements. Okay, so let's look at the notation. So first off, let's look at roster. Roster is a list. It can also be said as set builder notation. Now there's two examples here. Example 1 would be the alphabet. That's a list, the list of letters. Example 2 is a list of positive even numbers. Okay, so that's roster notation. Okay, next one is inequality notation. Inequality notation uses inequality symbols, which are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. Two examples of that are x less than 2, or x is greater than or equal to 5, and example 4, -1 less than or equal to x, less than or equal to 2. Okay. Interval notation uses the symbols parentheses, bracket, the U, and the upside down U. Now I'm going to cover this up for the moment just so you see that is interval notation. Everything below is just describing and letting you know what those mean. So parentheses could be less than or greater than, they're not equal, and it's an open circle. Brackets could be a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, and they're equal, and it's a closed circle. And this means or, and this means and. Let me say here I said equal, but it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And here is less than but not equal and greater than but not equal. All right, so examples of that are negative infinity to 2 or 5 to infinity. And example 6 would be bracket -1 comma 2 parentheses. Now I didn't say parentheses here, but I can restate that. That's parentheses negative infinity comma 2 parentheses or bracket 5 comma parentheses comma infinity and parentheses. Okay, now with that is some sets of numbers in notation, but let's look at a set of real numbers. And let's rotate around here. All right, and let's do some camera adjustments. There you go. Okay, so this circle should be your second part to part 3. So you should have 2 sections in section 3, the notes page and this page. Okay, so you have the circle, which is real numbers, and in that is a subset. Okay, this is the subset of natural numbers. This is included in the real numbers, and they include 1, 2, 3, ... Now, the natural numbers are a subset of whole numbers, which is a subset of real numbers. And the whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, ... And then the integers are a subset of the real numbers, and they are -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, ... and that's going in both directions. And the last subset is rational numbers, which you think fractions. So all of these are subsets of the real numbers. And this is a subset of whole numbers, which is a subset of integers, and so on. Okay. Now, irrational numbers are still a set of real numbers, but they're not included here. So irrational numbers are pi, square root of 2, square root of 5, and so on. And so irrational numbers are numbers that do not fit in any of these sets. Now, let me turn this just to make sure you understand where this goes in the journal, but this is the first part of page 3 is your notes, and this is your second part of 3. So they're both named 3 for section 3. This concludes the note part of it, and let's look at the assignments. So close your journal, and let's look at the assignment. Okay, so I've pre-written the problems just to save time because I'm on a 10-minute limit, which is an interesting dilemma there. But for right now, this will save time, and it also reduces time that you have to watch on the video, which I know you're so looking forward to watching every minute of these videos. All right, so here you're given inequality notation, and remember, interval notation uses the parentheses or brackets. And so here, when we say x is less than 4, that includes negative infinity, all the numbers leading up to 4, coming from the negative direction and stopping at 4. So that might not make as much sense, but once you graph it, you can see here we're coming from negative infinity and we're stopping. Open circle 4 because it's not included in 4. Okay. Now, number 3 says that all the numbers are between -3, including at -3, and 5, but not including 5. So in interval notation, this looks like bracket, -3, comma 5, parentheses. As a graph, bracket means closed circle, so closed circle all the way to open circle 5. So all the numbers between here. Now, inequality notation for number 4, I noticed that you could work number 4, but I want to make it more practical and better to see. So I've changed the 5 to a -5. Okay. So with that change, we say x is greater than or equal to -3 or x is less than -5. So since -5 is on the far left, we start there. So when we say x is less than -5, we're saying negative infinity to -5, not including -5. And then or including -3, which this should be a bracket because of the equal sign. So that includes -3 and it goes to positive infinity. Now, if these 3 problems worked, you should be able to use that information to answer problems 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, let's turn the page. Now, I'm not going to go over any of the back page because now you see graphs, and you're going to use interval notation to describe when it's decreasing, when it's negative, when it's positive, when it's constant, and you're going to do the same thing for 16, 17, 18, 19. Now, this will be a little difficult, so try it, and if you have any questions, ask me during class. Okay? With that, have a terrific Wildcat